Welcome everybody live to the stream here. Bill Gates, this is for you. I love you, Windows. Welcome everybody. Our volume's actually working now. I just want to thank Microsoft for the great work that you do. What is up, everybody? International Master, formerly top 50 in the US. Oh, does that matter? No. I'm only like mildly manic today. Now I understand maybe why Mark Esserman calls all of his streams like mocking or something. I don't know. We're just mocking chess. What's up, everybody? Sumaher, hey, it's Miro. We've got challenges. Is my stream title still up? Damn it. It reverted. No way. It reverted. Alright. Damn it. Why does it revert? Why are there so many technical problems all the time? Why does my stream title revert to what it was like 5 minutes ago? That's so irritating. Why would it do that? GeoGuessr and baking. That's what we're up to today. What do you guys think? Alright. Delete my mock title. How dare you? What's up? Asterbate, good to see you. How dare you delete my mock title and shut down my volume? I think it's a conspiracy theory, you know? They're trying to silence me. I'm gonna turn into like Bobby Fischer and become totally paranoid. Somebody's trying to silence me. Literally, my volume is down to like nothing and my title gets reverted when I try to like set a title. I think it's a conspiracy theory. No, seriously, no puzzles. We're just gonna do GeoGuessr and baking today. The Triveni Super Grandmasters Tournament, 1990. I remember that, man. It's Eric Rosen. He's worried I'm a big threat to his chess career. How many times has Eric Rosen, like, qualified for the top 10 in the USCF Grand Prix? Or, you know, been in the top 50 in the US? I accomplished those things. But nobody cares about me. Nobody loves me, you know? You guys love me. I know you do. Alright, whatever. I need self-assurance. I get irritated with people, you know, cheapening chess. Alright, Sumaher, hey, it's Miro, learning chess. Chess is my life's biggest love, and I'm not gonna ruin it with baking and GeoGuessr. So seriously, let's go. Sumaher, hey, it's Miro, learning chess. I'm gonna take the first challenge here. Dude, how much... I always hated puzzles, honestly. But to do a stream when you're like a 1900 player, doing puzzles for people to watch, what are you trying to do? Like, teach them to be worse? Or, seriously? Hey, let's teach everyone to suck. But seriously, all right. I want to watch like a 1900 player doing puzzles. Sumaher, let's go. I hate puzzles to begin with, but the last thing I want to do is like watch some boring stream where someone else is doing puzzles who sucks, you know. Why? Well, there are certain reasons you might want to, other reasons, but let's play some chess. I always hated puzzles. Let's go. Sumaher with Queen's Gambit declined. Sumerian. You rewatched the analysis of your game. The game with Bijak. Ah. It's educational. Like the University of Massachusetts. At least according to the Pixies. Alright, well, anyway. Queen C2 castles. We're only mildly manic today. No, actually, I'm good. You're in the middle of my first cup of black coffee. Your first ever cup of black coffee? A lot of people say it's healthier to drink black coffee, but I frankly, I kind of doubt like a little sugar and milk every day is going to kill you. Yeah, I never drink the coffee black. My parents used to drink black coffee. I could never really get into it. But I guess you get used to it. But I mean, there's nothing worse when like they put too much sugar or stuff in the coffee. Like Dunkin' Donuts. Speaking of Dunkin' Donuts, Sumaher with the B6. The Sumaharian. Man, you just don't do theory, right? You refuse to learn theory. It's interesting that you like play the classical Nimzo, which is kind of a theoretical variation, but with black you're like absolutely no theory. You should learn some serious opening theory, a little bit at least. I don't want to over teach opening theory. I was telling that to one of my students. I mean, most people do too much. But I think you should focus more on black than white. You know, I mean, if you're going to learn openings, you should probably learn the openings for black better. Because there you're a tempo down, you know, honestly. E4 takes. I don't know if this is a good idea. Probably not. Seriously, if you're going to choose a color, learn the openings with black better. Because you're at a disadvantage. But you seem to know white better than black. But you do alright with, I mean, you play like kind of non-theoretical variations. And you manage to get semi-reasonable positions. But I think you should really make an effort to start studying your black openings more. Anyway, Dunkin' Donuts has the most over-sugared milk coffee ever. Ugh. Sometimes we would get like drive-through. It was disgusting. Europeans would be very offended by that stuff. Okay. So what are we going to do? Get out of here? My interpretation of black coffee is there's no sugar or milk at all. I'm not sure if that's what Bijak means. Uber driver's here. Did you come for the GeoGuessr or baking? We're going to do it all. We're going to do it all today. A little bit of everything. It's yeah, this is a typical situation where the queen ends up on c2. He's trying to play against that. I have had this happen before. I think rook d1 is in order. A rook to d1. I just don't know which one. That's how we call it. Someone drinks it with sugar. Okay, so you mean there's no... So that doesn't affect whether it has sugar in it. That's just no milk. Because in the West, I think black coffee is... The interpretation is absolutely, like, straight up. If you go to a cafe and you ask for a black coffee, they're going to put nothing in it. Turkish coffee, of course. Turkish style coffee, like short coffee. What we would call a short coffee here, as opposed to a long coffee. Coffee terminology around the world. That's what we'll do. Welcome everybody to our non-puzzle stream. No, I don't do silly stuff. We're all business here. Queen c7. Oh no. There was a miscalculation. Oof. Sumeri got oofed. It's still early in the morning and he got his first black coffee. We need to ask Mr. Coffee, exactly. But you know, Mr. Coffee has never really been forward about why he's called himself Mr. Coffee. That's what I don't understand. We've never really had a serious discussion about this. Our primary moderator, Mr. Coffee, never really been forthwith about it. I assumed he was a manager at Dunkin' Donuts. Black lost a piece. Or maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. Forthwith. William Shakespeare. You know what's another funny thing on a totally other subject? Hungarians, and probably most non-Americans, non-Westerners, they don't realize that Bill is a nickname for William. They'll hear someone call me Bill, they'll be like, wait, why they call you Bill? Like, you never heard of Bill Shakespeare? Alright. I have to draw these analogies to, like, Bill Clinton all the time. Oh! Bill Clinton. Well, it's hard. Spear. That's a weird name. I mean, I would like to know the origins of Shakespeare's name, actually. I'm sure that it's been studied. The origins. Origins of Puzzle Rush. Okay, it's early in the morning. Sumer had a bad start. You know, before we go on, I just want to take a moment to talk about this. Queen c2 to take him out of book. I saw Shaba play that before. You might want to consider taking on c4, but I don't know where it stands theoretically. Anyway, castles, bishop g5, c6. So what is this now? It's just an attempt by black to take advantage of the position of my queen on c2 with b6, bishop b7, rook c8 quickly. So, like, who has ever played this for black? Pham Chuang, whoever that is. Irina Zakharjeva and Eric Dominguez. You know, you're in very, very well-established company. Hungarian FIDE master Robert Mokchai is, like, the best player, practically. So it's playable, but it's just not... It's not great. You know, you need to study more opening theory, especially with black. All right, hey, it's Miro's up. Guys, we're just taking the challenges in order. You don't have to be a subscriber to my puzzle stream to get your challenge accepted. I'm having a bad hair day today, so don't comment on that. You play Queen C2 with white every game. Of course. Every game? No matter what? Against the Queen's Gambit, against everything? I didn't realize you were like obsessed with Queen C2. Bureau, hope you're doing well. Going from playing early to late at night with this game. That's too complicated for me. Did you like travel in time or something? Alright. You have to work in a couple hours. Sorry. Sorry to hear that. I feel for you. Let's try G3. Now that's boring. It's almost as boring as doing puzzles for the viewers. The 5 a.m. clock in. Gotta make the donuts. Yo, what did I just do? Messed with my board. It's alright, we recovered. Learning chess. D takes C5 is mandatory. Uber driver, that's a horrible move. I don't want to hear about that anymore. Your perversions have no place on the stream. Perversions of chess. It's not sharp, it's just bad. We will not credit that with the response. I play that against Delancey sometimes in Blitz because like he just does the same old Benoni every single game. I had to find something else. You know, that's the kind of move you play like when you're desperate for something. Something that's not the same old thing, but it's still not good. You know, whatever. I've played the move, but I'm not going to pretend it's a good move. Alright. Uber driver has some strange ideas. D takes C5 is sharp. Learning chess. Pipe down there. D takes C5 is good in the Nimzo classical. Not in the Benoni. Chess Zebra, welcome. Dr. Zebra. So this is an English symmetrical, and I don't know theory well, but I'm pretty sure that Bishop C5 is rarity. It's a rarity that I have faced in Blitz, and I don't play this line much. And I'll explain to you. Let's see, why don't I play this much? Well, generally I play. Let's see. Generally I don't play Catalan with 3G3 here, so I've been kind of. And I don't play the Fianchetto Benoni, so now I'm forced to play Knight F3. I played these lines with black, but I never played Knight C6. But in this position, I mean, black has various moves. I guess Queen B6 is the main line, actually. Now I don't know if it's better to play Knight C3 or Bishop D2, to be honest. I'm going to try not to waste too much time today, as I do often. Zebras, you know, zebras, psychologically you remember the first and the last things, usually. A Z letter is not so common. My memory actually sucks for a chess master, I think. Well, it's not great anyway. I don't have a great memory, I would say. Although I think I have early onset Alzheimer's. probably. But my, even years ago, my girlfriend used to call me a memory sieve. When I'm talking like a girlfriend from 25 years ago, used to make fun of my memory. That's just luck that I remember that one specific person here. But my memories, it's sketchy. I do have this theory though that people's memories are oriented more toward auditory stuff and visual stuff, and I'm terrible with auditory stuff. Like if you tell me your name, vocally, like I'll never remember your name. Forget about it. Like I'll forget 5 minutes later if someone tells me their name. But if I see something, I'm pretty good. I visually remember where stuff is. I can recall the location of objects better than average people. Auditory stuff is a disaster. So what do we do here? How about rook d1? I feel like being creative. Masturbate advertising chess 24. Nice. Perfect for lichess. Currently featuring Magnus Online Games, where he has a running commentary. You can watch it on replay for the rest of your life. Masturbate. He loves advertising for the competition. You remember a funny image that helps you picture their name? Yeah, I studied psychology. We had some classes, memory related stuff. But in general, my auditory memory is horrible. I think that's why I'm bad at languages too, most likely. I think it's just how you're socialized. Maybe people that, conversate and talk more. I don't know. Yeah, that's why I do puzzles and GeoGuessr and baking. I'm a surface person. Look at this dynamic. Dr. Dynamic. You didn't play bishop a6. Hey, it's Miro. This is a nice move based on active counterplay. Knight b7, knight b7, bishop b7, rook b8. Knight c4. Knight c4 here. The problem is he's got penetration with the rook down. I've got to be very careful here. Knight d2, knight a3, maybe. I'm leaning toward playing knight a3. Very exciting move. Did you know in the old days I called you Bill and it seemed normal? Yeah, my official name is William. I had to change it after the Bill Cosby incident. Bill between Clinton and Cosby, Bill got a bad reputation. So we had to kind of migrate over to Will. So far Will Smith has been pretty well behaved. Saw him in the news recently. Chess Ebro also. I was talking about before you came to the stream. Hungarians don't understand. Part of the conversation was, probably all Europeans, but Europeans don't understand the whole thing with Bill, because Bill is not directly in the name. They don't get it, why William is Bill. I have to compare myself to Bill Clinton or something for people to understand the Bill part. It's easier just to do Will. My parents and my family called me Billy when I was a little boy, and I always found that very patronizing. So friends who wanted to torture me would call me Billy. That's a childish I mean, Billy is very childish. So I still get people doing that to try to be patronizing. But anyway, on to the chess, guys. Hayesmiro has managed to gain a structural advantage against my incisive English opening. Maybe it's regional, you know? Like being American, as an American, maybe. William is more formal. Bill is the most common short form in most places. I think in the UK, Will is more popular than Bill. It's my European version, Uber driver. Now that I'm European, we have to be. Not that the UK is in Europe, because they're not. Keep your fishing boats to yourself. But keep your fishing boats on your side, dudes. But it's closer anyway. Everyone in Hungary speaks English with an English accent. Hayesmiro was trying to find a way to play bishop a6. he's got an obsession with that in the Benoni. Come on, Hayesmiro. You're equal here. Little technical problem with the D file. Yeah, I didn't get enough in this game. It's probably equal. My knight on a3 is horrendous. We do have the Oleg bishop. Ukrainian Grandmaster. Oleg Romanishin. Legendary with the g2 bishop. He's a huge Catalan master. One of the best. English, Catalan, Romanishin. Please don't accept. Don't worry. I won't accept your challenge next. Never. God, Hayesmiro is good. He's ready for work. Oh, I hate my position. Going to the hot tub. Alright. Tuition going on will get over 15 minutes. Say what? Tuition is free. Damn. Well, that sucks. He's totally outplayed me. Man, he like pre-moved that. Never do pre-moves. How's my knight doing? My knight's a happy camper. Oh my god, another blunder. Last time, reminds me of my game with Sumaher where I hung a rook. This is almost as bad. Thank god he's like doing pre-moves. Damn. Nice job. Nice game by Hayesmiro. He made some mistakes, but he's hung in there. No. He's playing for the win. Draw wasn't enough for him. He declined my repetition. This 1935. How dare you? This actually could be technically problematic. Wow. I could even lose this. Am I lost yet? That was kind of cutting it close. We cut it a little too close there. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some weird position where I was lost. I could put the king on g1 and draw easily. Know-it-all. Uber Driver's a know-it-all. Damn, dude. Was I lost in some moment there? Because that didn't seem right. I could put the king on g1 and draw easily. I wanted to actively defend. Phew. I felt like I was like one move away from being lost there. I was never lost. I squandered a very large advantage. But he just kept the moves coming, like, quickly. This was winning. He had blundered pretty badly. He missed a crushing move, knight a5. Not crushing, but I guess good enough, right? When I move my knight to c2, finally he has this fork hitting my rook and hitting c4 with check. I mean, how good is that for me? That must be good, right? Learning chess. It reminded me of the time I dropped a rook last week against Sumaher. Good game, Miro. Good job. Well played for the most part. Leaning chess. Really? Alright. I was like, well, what are you going to play? Now I like pull my hair out if he doesn't know the right way to play this with white. That was the whole point. Revealing my secret ideas here. 2 games with me are 2 draws. What do you mean 2 games? You mean the last 2? You're tough. Now you don't know. You're ruining my whole point. Now you don't know, but you played the best move. Just by accident? Oh, brother. We need one of those, like, Esterman fans to have the Mora Gambit book and look it up and see what he recommends for white here. The most common move for white is c4. And I guess technically I could play d5, though I don't know if it's a good book. Yeah, check. I'm curious to see. Move 5, what's recommended for white, Miro, if you have that book. Does white recommend playing c4 or knight f3? I mean, does the author recommend c4 or knight f3? I'm just kind of curious about this. Because I found an interesting idea. When Alexander Ivanov came to Boston, I was one of the first people to meet him. I played him 10 Blitz game. He won all 10. You don't say. That sounds like my first 10 tournament games with him. Yeah, it's good for... Well, that book is really good as like a sort of coffee holder. No, I'm not going to reveal my ideas. Not if you don't. I'm not going to give away my ideas. I just want to know what the recommended move is there. You guys aren't going to get to see my my secret ideas for free. You have to subscribe and donate to the stream. Yeah, but this isn't good. You know, the gambit, the declined Mora is bad for black. Learning chess kind of understands, you know, not really, but something. It sucks as a chess book? Well, no, it sucks as an opening. I'm sure that it's good for its topic, but I think the Mora Gambit is a bad opening. It's a waste of the white pieces. Objectively, you know, on some level. It's probably a good book about a lame subject. You know what I mean? It's... Learning chess... No masters played the Mora Gambit for a reason. Because it sucks. But it's good at the amateur level. It's a good opening maybe for beginners to learn, you know, the idea of dynamism. Yeah, white will play for... White can draw with the Mora Gambit. If you want to try to get a draw with white against the Sicilian, it's actually a great opening. But if you want to try to win, it's probably not a good idea. You can beat, like, bad players and make them look bad because they don't know what they're doing. But the truth is, like, against strong players, it's max draw. You know, unless they go crazy or something. But you'll get these people who... I mean, look at the statistics. It's terrible for white because no good players play it. That's why its statistics are so horrible. But I mean, you know, Bobby could play anything. Learning chess. You're a duplicate account? You're a Smurf? I only lost one game ever against the Mora Gambit, and it cost me a GM norm. I was winning, though. I had a totally winning position. The only game I ever lost against the Mora Gambit, ironically. No, I mean, like, seriously. In, like, 8 tournament games against the Mora Gambit, I literally lost once. In a critical game that I had a winning position in. It's just a waste of time for white. But again, good for maybe beginners. It's okay for teaching like 7-year-olds to play in scholastic tournaments. You know, some strong players insist on continuing to play it, but I think that it's a waste of time. You should learn how to play like a real variation against the Sicilian. Either open Sicilian, C3, or the Rossalimo or something. You know, there are 3 or 4 good ways to play with white against the Sicilian. Even the closed Sicilian isn't bad. Smith. I'm sorry, Smith Mora. Did I say that? Ken Smith? Well, he, you know, I never met Ken Smith. He was a chess publisher. He had a publishing company, Chess Digest. What am I supposed to do here? Good question. I don't know. Learning chess is this very strange account. Yeah, I think it's a Smurf of another account that plays on my stream. They always play the opening really well and then just sort of hang their pieces at the end or something. Alright. He was a founding member of the Smiths. Just kidding. Sorry, Morrissey. So, your knight c6 on move 4 isn't common in the book? What? What other move would black play? But the one game I saw with it played c4. d6, d5, g6. I can't reveal my secrets. I have an idea there, though, something interesting. But we're talking move 4, right? No, objectively, I don't think declining the Mora Gambit is great. But there is a move order trick I'm curious about. Learning chess. Yes. Yes, Uber Driver, you can. But the problem is that the c3 Sicilian or Alapin is actually a good opening for white, unlike the Mora Gambit. So by doing that, you force white to play a legitimately good opening. That seems like a really dumb idea, you know? I'm gonna force you to play a good opening. Okay, it's easier for black in terms of like not having to learn more stuff, right? The point is to like save your time and not have to study the opening and learn the best lines. But objectively, you know, you got to accept the Mora Gambit to equalize. Yeah, eventually see he starts hanging his pieces. But plays the opening really, really well every time. Now this player is challenging me 3+0. But that time control doesn't fly. At the bottom of the stream, I've got this 5+3 casual blitz typed in there. We've got to play 5+3. It gives me time to talk about the games. I'm not here to like try to show how great I am. I just want to play instructive games where we can talk about them on the stream. Thank you for re-challenging 5+3. Repun, I don't know if he's ready or not. Let me know when you're ready, Repun. I'm going to take this other guy's challenge. 5+3. So if you don't have time to prepare specifically a line against the Mora Gambit, then it makes sense to play, like you said. You can also play d5, right? What am I talking about? You know, like, you can also decline with d5, Uber Driver. There's a couple ways to decline it, but You're also transposing to some line of the c3 Sicilian. You challenge to your game without the chess pieces. You know, I made that joke about teaching a monkey to play bullet, and some guy sent me a message like, if you think you can teach a monkey to play bullet chess and be 800, then I want to take lessons. I thought that was pretty funny. I actually got a student or someone interested in taking lessons because of our discussion about clock punching monkeys. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have that many openings for... No, I mean, I don't have that many openings for lessons. I don't know if this guy is serious or not, but I just thought it was funny. What's up? Well, in a sense, he's calling himself a monkey. Nothing wrong with monkeys. Monkeys are cool. Bishop e2 is not usually good against most lines of the rouser, but it's actually considered to be a good variation here. But I guess he didn't know the theory, he's just making moves. The line is actually bishop takes f6, g takes f6, castles. It's considered a pretty good variation for white. I had a game with Kudrin in that. Actually, I've had more than one game with Kudrin. It's not fun playing Sergei with... It's not fun playing Sergei Kudrin with black in the Sicilian, but I did it anyway. Knight takes c6 is not a move. There have been millions of monkeys. And people say one could randomly write a Shakespeare novel. We've gained this bishop pair here. Now this is kind of materialistic, but it is an important pawn. So I'm going to take it. It disrupts his coordination. He can't castle kingside, he can't castle queenside with my queen on g5. And it breaks up his pawn structure. I don't like just grabbing pawns, for the most part. Now he accidentally played a very strong theoretical move, this bishop e2. Now he's like trying to castle queenside, it appears. Maybe also sporting knight b5. Sporting. Objectively, white is lost here. But it's subjective. Aren't we all monkeys? Well, let's not get into an argument about Darwinism on the chess stream. But I did enjoy Planet of the Apes. One of my favorite sci-fi movies. Charlton Heston is simply classic. Although I don't really like the new Planet of the Apes. I like the originals. So white is just kind of like randomly making crazy aggressive tactical tries here. Normally bishop g7, but maybe I should check with bishop h6 just to get myself out of here more quickly. Bishop h6 is more expedient. Expedia. I don't really do anything on this diagonal other than force him to a safer square. But I want to get castled. But Larry can't checkmate me with the dark square bishop with no dark square bishop so easily, right? Wait, Larry the L pawn? Dude, it's Harry, not Larry. We talked about Larry. I wanted a Larry. I wanted to make the chessboard bigger. Acerbate, how many files do we need for a Larry? Oh, you mean Larry Christensen. Speaking of caveman. Like the strongest chess caveman. WJ Lou, thank you for the beer fund. The beer or coffee fund. Thank you very much. Someone thinking about our beer and coffee fund. Things have been a little bit slow lately, so I appreciate it. I realize White's game, you know, he only plays with pieces. He doesn't do pawns. Pawns are just plebes to be like sacrificed to the gods with this player. He has no love for pawns whatsoever. That's his, well, for lack of a better word, I guess his, where do we want to go? That's his style. Move 11, one of our VIPs, constantly references Jesse Cry's comment that pawns aren't people. But he may be encouraging people to disrespect the value of pawns. Oh, the B pawn is loose. Look at that. I don't respect my pawns. But this guy doesn't care about pawns. He gives away pawns like they're nothing. He only moves pieces. Very well, Ripun Bansal. Yeah, I figured this was coming. That's fine, though. But his knight is at the OK Corral here. Welcome to the OK Corral. So what you're saying, Ripun, is like you're tutoring, math tutoring. It sounded like you were talking about tuition. You know, in English, tuition means like what you pay to go to school. You're talking about like tutoring. Yeah, I get it. Now I understand. Yeah, C4. This is a good move. It's his best move of the game, probably. It's a pawn move, too. Fighting for control of d5. I don't know if he's trying to bring his knight back in the center, but that's his first good pawn move this game. Yeah, like, that's a British thing, maths. In America, we never really said maths, you know. That's interesting. It's just like mathematics. We never say maths. Trying to trick me by moving a pawn. But his real intention is probably to bring the knight into the game, because he's a lover of pieces. Oh, I hung my b pawn again. Damn it. Yeah, that loses. Shawshank Redemption. Okay, Ripun Bansal is ready. I remember some guy saying don't move pawns when you're weaker. What do you mean? Like weaker as a player, or you stand worse in the game? Once I saw a TV show in Ireland and someone freaked out. It's not a show, it's a program. Yeah, stuff like that. Where you're weaker. Again, we could argue about this. Where you're weaker. Oh, like on the queen side? Well, that's a normal sort of thing. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think I've said that myself. I mean, Dvoretsky taught me that. Wasn't the first person to teach me that, but Mark made an effort to consciously say that when we worked together. Don't create weaknesses on the side where you're weaker. Where the opponent's stronger side, where they have more space. Let's try Tazake. I'm mocking. It's my mock title. I'm going to start doing mock titles without using the word mock. They'll be like the fake title than the real title. I know that frustrated you last time, Repun. That's why I'm playing the French. I just play whatever my opponents, it makes them uncomfortable. Yeah, actually, that's another idea, c5. Once I had a game with Bertsesh David, and I think the game was d4 e6, and he played... No, how was it? It was like d4 e6. I know what it was. I had a game with Bertsesh David, who's a d4 player, or at least he was, and he's a GM now for years. And we had a game that was like d4 e6. David played knight f3, and I played c5, and then he played e4. I was like, "What are you doing? You don't even play e4." He transposed to a Curies attack, like a Najdorf English attack, and got slaughtered. Yeah, I mean, c5 is... I think that's the only game I ever beat him. I think he's beat me twice, I beat him once, but ironically, it was pretty funny. Joe Mama. Well, that's like carjacking. I don't know, my kids are talking about Joe Mama all the time, but I don't understand what that's about. Is that like a Joe Biden thing? Karyakin's been around forever. He's like the child chess veteran. I mean, I remember we were joking about carjacking in like 2000, and he's still like he's still only like 35 or something. He's like the youngest veteran grandmaster in the world. Karyakin's been a grandmaster for like 25 years. It's crazy. Oh, wow. Chris Christie versus Howard Stern. That'd be an awesome presidential election. Howard would be like fat shaming Chris Christie or something. Do you notice that I'm always white against you? It's possible that... Repun, are you like challenging me with white secretly or something like that? Haha, I've been doing like white challenges. Yeah, it's not woke to do fat jokes. But is woke specifically about race? Or just anything that's insulting? Does woke have to specifically be about race? No. Because John Cleese got hammered. He was like, he's getting hammered by the left really hard for not understanding wokeness. But I also understand his perspective. He was defending this guy who like imitated Hitler. He's like, I did a Hitler imitation on Monty Python. So I understand his perspective, you know. I get it, like, he's defending like comedians making fun of, you know, murderous dictators or whatever. But he doesn't understand the definition of wokeness, which people were picking on him for. And he is kind of an idiot in a lot of ways. But I want to understand myself before I make a fool out of myself. What exactly woke means. Someone posted the Oxford definition of woke. I saw. But it went through me. I didn't memorize it. It's like, are we gonna, like, you know, we're gonna hammer like Charlie Chaplin for making fun of Hitler now? Was Charlie Chaplin not woke? Is making fun of Hitler like somehow insulting? Or it's like, what's the point? It's I don't think so. You can argue that it's like somehow playing down the seriousness or something. But I think it's going too far. But anyway, John Cleese is kind of an idiot. You have to read the story about John Cleese and how he like canceled himself at some show because some comedian was put out for wanting to do a Hitler imitation. I don't know. But anyway, it's not the first time John Cleese has been controversial. I guess he's kind of like a conservative. But anyway, I don't mean to get political. I don't even know how we got on this subject. So, Ripon Bansal just dropping his d4 pawn. I think I distracted him with all my woke chat. Right, I think making light of Hitler equals making light of all the people he killed. But I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't have to, you know? I mean, I don't think that Chaplin making fun of, you know, if you ever saw the famous... I disagree that, you know, I understand that's probably the logic, but I disagree that making fun of Hitler has to be making light of all the people he killed or whatever, you know? I'm not sure that I have to agree with that. Like, I kind of understand both sides of the argument, you know, and I don't think it's clear. I don't think the truth is clear there. I think that's tough, you know. I get it. Yeah, I get it. I get the perspective. But I don't think it's easy to say, like, one side's right or the other side's right. Now, yeah, it looks like Ripon was distracted by his maths tutoring. Not the best game there. French defense seems to be something of a problem. Let's get some more challenges from some different players. I've got a re-challenge from the same player. It also depends probably on how you do it, you know, and what style you're making fun of a murderous dictator, and what's the context, you know. What's the context of your comedy sketch or whatever. You hate when someone plays French. I think that Ripon Bansal just, there's certain openings you're not as familiar with, and you're not as, you know, you don't have a routine, and that's why you're not as good there. I've noticed that you play much better when when it's something that you're familiar with. And I think that's true with most people. Uber driver again with the bad recommendation. Don't listen to Uber driver. He plays a lot of bullet chess. He's recommending his like bullet chess systems. Miro, he did play the Tarash. The Tarash is good. Cheesemate, thanks for challenging. I played the... what's it called? Rubinstein. Which sucks, actually. I think it sucks. Yeah, I mean, Dave Chappelle... he's getting in trouble for transphobic comments. He seems to have no problem with gays and lesbians, but there seemed to be an issue with the trans community. That's all I know. That's the only perspective I had on it. I never really watched him, so I don't know. But I have really not enough information on that. That was the perspective that I got. It was strictly a trans thing, that he was offending them. How do you challenge? Just click on my name on lichess and right click on my name or whatever. You can find my account and challenge me. Mubot, you can send Saji a casual 5+3 challenge from here. Alright, Cheesemate, let's try the backup variation. Damn, Uber driver. Did Cheesemate gain 100 points or something? Yeah, he did in fact. But he is 2400 in rapid. He played 9 on d7 here. I think that's a mistake. I played this against, man, I remember I played this against Novikov. And he killed me. Because he just knows it super well. But I think the move is a5. It's not easy to be a comedian today. It's really easy to insult someone. It's almost impossible not to insult someone. Yeah. So it's a good thing I'm not a very good comedian. I don't have to worry about that. I just insult people without being funny. It's even worse. No, Cheesemate messed up. Now you got it. Now you got it. You want your bishop to come out here. And your queen covers a5. But black is seriously in trouble here. Not to say that he's necessarily lost, though. Black has very little space. I guess castle's queenside is an option, but it's kind of risky. Seems mildly unnecessary. If I was only a sharper player tactically, but I do need to develop my pieces here. I don't know, bishop c4. Bishop c4, is that even a good move? Yeah, but I mean, the whole idea, I think here for white is the strangulation. You know, you're just getting strangled. Looking for sacks, like, isn't really the way white wins this position. You know, it's the space. Again, it's your bullet, your cheap bullet intuition. Uber driver, you've become cheaper because of all that bullet chess. Yeah, I'm not convinced about bishop c4 at all. I had a lot of moves there, and this is not necessarily the right move. I have an overt sacrifice on e6 that may or may not work before, but I doubt that's even the best move for me. Yeah, this diagonal might be better. Civilization has always been plagued by newly minted adults being precocious about rules of interaction. Interesting. In order to play knight e5, I have to secure the d4. Black seriously spatially handicapped here. Spatially handicapped is insulting. It's insulting to call my hey, that's a new like PC terminology for people that are fat, right? If you're fat, you're not fat, you're spatially handicapped. You have too much space. It can go both ways, though. You can also use it for thin people. Spatially challenged. I mean, I've been waiting for this now. Yeah. I mean, I was inviting it. But as we've reported earlier, the key idea here is this diagonal, Uber driver suggestion, of course. I could take time out to play a3. I think this is okay. Eliciting the backward c pawn. Well, I mean, you know, we've all been in that kind of situation. Cheesemate, you know, he understands that's a backward pawn, but he doesn't have any. He's gasping for air. I mean, here, yeah, he understands this is a backward pawn, but yeah, that's his primary problem. Just the space in general, and of course, yeah. I mean, this is a very big issue. But it's more like the space. Rook a7, the Astor maneuver. That's Astorbate's invention from the Czech Benoni. It's a classic Benoni maneuver. Right, it's a bad piece. We play to kill pieces. This piece is like a Rosslimo Sicilian. He's going for the elf on the shelf. What did I call it? I had a name for this. It was I don't know what the joke was with that, but it was in the news the other day. The perch. I call this a perch. It's the queen perch. We have names for everything. We won't even give him that. Like, you can't even have the perch on f4. You assume knight e5 is automatic. It doesn't even do anything. I have other priorities here. What's he trying to do? Break out? Completion of development. Ooh. Wow. Wow, that is sick. e5. Anyways. Alright. But sooner or later, something's going to happen here. Man. I love e5 though. You know, he's open-minded. Probably I could just take the pawn. Maybe the word should be should. I'm not sure though, you know. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time. I would consider all my options there. Pawn takes, knight takes, everything in between. Sacking on b5. There's a million moves for white. Rook takes is a little extreme. Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't consider rook takes. That wasn't your suggestion. I don't know about rook takes. I'm running out of time, unfortunately. d5 is even an interesting move. Okay, this is my original plan. Does this even work? Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble here, I guess. Yeah, that's covered. Is this good? We have a pretty strong attack here. It's almost connect 4. I assume this is a winning position, right? I'm up a piece. Plus attack. But, you know, I'm not sure if my move was right. Did that work? See, bishop c4 is probably a mistake. No, it was okay. Not the best. Knight c3 was a mistake. What am I supposed to play here? Just like knight takes f6 check? Really? I hated trading pieces, but it's probably best, huh? Wow. But it was sound beyond that. Even knight d6 was sound. I was a little worried about it. Was that my best move? It is actually the best move. Damn, it's close. Yeah, so I expected g6. I wasn't really sure what I was going to play here. I was even looking at knight f7. But I wasn't sure about this. It looks like it's unclear. It's not best. You have to do queen c2. I need more time. He did play knight takes c5. What do you mean? He did play knight takes c5. Queen c2. He's losing a piece because he's getting mated. It's the secret bishop on b1. You know, the Acermate. I learned everything I do from Acermate. Yeah, this was not a bad game. But to be fair to Cheesemate, he didn't know the theory. Like, you have to play a5 here. Oh no, he's actually... Knight d7 is actually main move. Wow. That's weird. I didn't know this was okay for black. Oh, queen f4, right. The shelf. You have to go to the shelf. Aronian versus Dignaran. I remember that. Now that we mention it. I still like a5 better. You know, I think Novikov is right. This is black's best line. The idea is to play bishop e4 check. This was Joe Fang versus Arthur Bisgeier. e4, d takes e4, knight takes e4, bishop e4 check, king d1. I remember Joe playing this against Bisgeier in the New York Open. It was a draw. They had a draw. It was something like Bisgeier was black. Art used to play the semi-Slav. Queen f4. But I mean, maybe this is actually not a bad variation for white. See, Novikov with white, holy shit. That's crazy, dude. Novikov had white against Dreyev in 1990. Damn, dude. That's a heavy-duty positional battle. Novikov played it himself with the white pieces in 1990. Then I turned around and played it against Novikov in like 1995. Great idea. Really smart. That's like the time I played the bishop d7 rouser against Udasin, and he started like smiling at me and making weird faces. He's like, "What's up with you?" He's like, "Oh, this is my favorite variation. You know I invented this in 1979. Let's get some more challenges from people who are not currently playing. Another player from India. Promise you're not the same player I just played. Alright. This is a good time for the Indian players. It's like evening there. It's a bad time for Western players. The Indian, Asian, Australian, Southeast Asian, Australian time zone. C takes D. I don't like knight f6. Normally I play knight f3. It's also possible to play e4. It's one of Marshall's, Uber Driver, big history buff, one of Marshall's many unsound openings. Knight f6, knight c3. Knight f6, knight c3. Wait. What's my game with Mihawk? This should be good for white. Uber Driver, that's what Danny Kopech played against me. The bishop f5. I have analysis against that. But Kopech drew me in an exhibition game. We played online. Some kind of banter chess game. Kopech liked playing dubious openings, even more than me. It's 3 a.m. somewhere. Asturbate. But black's in trouble now after check. He has to take on d5. Now his structure is wrecked. The wreckage. No, I mean, maybe knight f6 is better here. Objectively. Knight f6, knight c3, c5. d5, ed, ed. Bishop d6, that's my game with Mihawk. It's similar to a Queen's Gambit Accepted, except worse. Only person like dumb enough to play that. But I felt the knight is better placed on f6 objectively. Yeah. So now what do we do? Just castle? You love Queen's Gambit Accepted. What about Uber Driver? Don't you play Queen's Gambit Accepted? Knight c6 is a pretty good move. I have knight g5 here, and then I lose control of d4. Great. That doesn't seem good. So black's position isn't that bad. Should be very good for white, but it's probably requiring, like, I'm very accurate. Already, maybe I made a mistake. Knight g5, bishop g5, queen h5 check. It takes on g5 is slightly better, but he has knight g5, knight d4. The knight on d4 is a big problem. I'm not sure what to do here. Don't really like this that much. I have a slight structural advantage, that's it. Not much. Bishop c6, bishop, yeah, that's maybe an idea. No, I mean, it's an idea. Maybe one of my main ideas. To take on c6 and then play knight e5 and get it back, you know. White remains with a strategic advantage. a6 is definitely a mistake. Yeah, now I definitely play it. Now I'm threatening queen h5 check. But you know, he still might be okay here. I've never played this player before. I have no idea how good they are. But they're certainly playing like they don't know theory. An a6 seems slow. But even so, black's still okay. Now, I mean, I really think you ought to trade queens. Well, I guess this is just a straight up losing blunder. When you have less space, you definitely want to trade queens. Trade queen and bishop b5. Black's hanging on there. I don't think it's that easy. Now he's lost. Straight, simple. Meathead would have played knight e5 instead of castles. Meathead is you? I think I just gave him more time by accident. Knight e5 instead of castles. You could even consider it right away. So knight e5 right away. Bishop e5. What do I do there? Queen d8 check, bishop d8, knight b5, threatening knight d6 check. Maybe. I already moved my bishop, so this is much more efficient. No, queen h5 is just calculation. Black is lost. Tactically lost. Bishop f4 is moving the same piece twice. I mean, I'd much rather develop another piece. I could play queen g4 or something, but this is just forcing moves. Knight e5, bishop takes b5, queen h5. Black should jump at the chance to trade queens in a position like this. He should have jumped at the chance to trade queens. Survey says he's still getting mated. Queen g8 check, king d7. Rook d1 check, bishop d6. Better just cut him off first. It's just king safety. Uber driver sees everything. I might have missed something fancy though. You're 1750. When you say you're 1750, Chess Zebra, you're 1750 US rating? Or 1750 online? You mean over the board rating or like online rating? Uh-huh. Rook takes d7. Damn, this averting mate. Still no mate. Queen g8 check. Knight f8. That's annoying. Rook d7, king d7. Damn. Can't believe it. He's still not getting mated. And that's really irritating. And he's starting to castle queenside. No, he already moved his king. I forgot. There was this funny game in Zalakaros, Hungary, like 3 years ago, where an Indian kid, you know, Pragnananta, the now Grandmaster prodigy, he had a game with this guy, this Chinese guy, and he let the Chinese guy make an illegal move. And then, like, the Indian players were all upset after the game that, like, you know, this was allowed or whatever. But, I mean, I didn't really get it. I mean, that's part of the rules, isn't it? I mean, if you make an illegal move and your opponent doesn't call you on it, that's your problem, you know? I didn't really understand. He didn't realize the guy had moved his king and then, you know, I think it was that. He had moved his king and then castled or something. And they let him get away with it. I think it was like illegal on the DGT board, which was kind of funny. Like the board didn't know how to process it because it was an illegal move. Black is a survivor. DGT boards are not good with processing illegal moves. So the board couldn't like write a move. It was like, it was recording the moves, but this was an illegal move. It didn't know what to do. And everyone was in an uproar. But as far as I know, it's simple, you know. Illegal move stands. There's no way to finish him off here. I thought in USCF you had to complain, but in FIDE the arbiter is supposed to take action. That's a good question. I do not know. I know you're right about USCF. Interesting. I do not know. So maybe that was the point? The arbiter was supposed to take action, and they didn't? Really? I don't think it's ever happened in one of my games. Someone's made an illegal move. In time pressure, yes, probably, like, walked into check and then the arbiter, you know, but it was kind of like, I never had a situation where somebody didn't notice an illegal move or something, and the arbiter had to point it out, you know. Anyone that's ever made an illegal move is like, you know, they've been called on it. There was never an issue where you didn't see it or something. Dude, acers. Acer bait. What do you call it when you like you have 3 pigs on the 7? Tumbasav Nikita. Dude, the guy he was a legend. He had an ad in Chess Life magazine for like 25 years to play him in the gazebo in New Orleans or whatever. He was a self-made legend from just the ad in Chess Life alone. I don't know, I never met him, I never went to New Orleans, but I know that he played in like the World Senior some years ago, and well, as far as I know, he's like master strength. He's like 2200 something, maybe a little stronger. I don't know, 23. He has like weird coffee house openings and stuff he plays, but I personally don't know him. He does horrible cheating moves. Okay, yeah, I mean that's classic. Yeah, hustler. I didn't know that about him, that he was like a cheating hustler. Yeah, acers. Acerbate. Acerbate. He's self-promoting chess hustler. Must be getting up there. I think the guy had, you know, he'd been doing that when I was a kid. But I'm not at all familiar with the Louisiana, New Orleans chess scene. But I do recall him having some game that he played in the World Senior, playing some totally coffee house crap. That's clearly straight out of the hustler scene. But we all see those kind of players at the Washington Square Park or whatever, you know, local chess hustler place you have. No, yesterday I played H4 against Cheesemate. No, Wednesday. Not to rub it in, but I won a nice attacking game against Cheesemate. It's called something. It's like the Myers attack. I also played G4. Oh no, this was against Sicilian. Oh, I haven't tried H4 here yet. I'll give that a try. Okay. Yeah, I did it against the Sicilian Uber driver, but it's not Wednesday. Being that it's not Wednesday, I'm going to stick with something correct. A little later, we're going to do some baking and GeoGuessr. So just stay tuned. Maybe some puzzles, bullet. Very meaningful stuff like that. Don't go anywhere, folks. Hugh Myers, author of... Oh, that's Hugh Myers. Okay. I don't know where that guy's from, but I remember the name. Uber driver, did you know Jack Young? Probably. So Jack Young, legendary New England author of Bozo the Clown's Chess Emporium. Well, you know, he was an aficionado of Hugh Myers' opening bulletin and stuff like that, probably. I don't know if he was the inventor of the hillbilly attack or not, you know, frankly. Was he? How can we know? I can ask Joe. The Weedmaster would know, you know, if Jack Young was the inventor of the hillbilly attack or not. So 97, the infamous hillbilly attack. Well, he certainly, you know, popularized it. He had other openings called like the squirrel and stuff. I think the squirrel was when you went like knight a3, c3, knight c2, but I'm not sure. But I think he got a lot of his openings from other sources. There's a whole subculture of weird opening magazines and and whatnot. Am I from New England? So I lived in New England. I'm not originally from New England. But I lived in New England for 15 years. Even longer. Well, yeah, I mean, technically even longer. I actually had residence in New England even like 3 years ago. But I'm originally from New Jersey. Sad to say. My parents lived there, and you played some chess club in Connecticut. Had like 3 masters. Maybe Uber driver. Right before a tournament at one of the... Yeah, the Foxwoods. Foxwoods, former champion. You guys know any Foxwoods former champions? Never heard of it. I never heard of that. Nope, never been there. Yeah. One of my many legendary achievements was winning Foxwoods. Back-to-back wins with black against Grandmasters in 2001, was it? Was it 2001 or 2002? I can't even remember. My name's on the trophy. My gnome is on the trophy. Cheesemate won under 2000 section. Nice. We're co-Foxwoods champions. I don't know what you're supposed to play here. Damn, I'm like frozen. What are you supposed to play here? Seriously. I guess E5? It's like I'm tempos down in the winnower. This is kind of weird. H4 again. Yeah, that was my greatest tournament victory. We've got Elf on the shelf and the gnome on the trophy. I had a very good year. 2001. The only time I won any amount of money playing chess was like $3,000 or something. Big money. Back in those days, though, it wasn't bad. Yeah, I don't like the way this is going. I guess his bishop on b7 is pretty bad, though. That's not right. You didn't play your first till 2004. Well, that's when I left the building. So I pretty much like don't know a lot of players in the US that are like post 2003. Although I went back for some tournaments. I played in 2007, 2006. I played some tournaments in New England. I won the New England Open in 2013, as far as I recall. And I was still a part-time resident, so 3 times New England Open champion. 1 time Mass Open champion. No, twice. Once co-champion with Ivanov, and once solo first. But I've been living in Hungary since like 2004, at least half the year. The New England Open is pathetic now. The latest edition was like really, really weak. They just had a tournament like a month ago, Uber driver. It was maybe the weakest New England Open I ever saw. But Ivanov played and Jimenez played, the Cuban guy, and some 2100 won the tournament ahead of both of them. Isn't that messed up? Like literally 2 grandmasters played a 6-round tournament and they lost to a 2100. Hawaii. Yeah, I knew this guy who played at the Boylston Chess Club who lived in Hawaii. Who was like 2200. Robert something. There might be a national master or two in Hawaii. Usually there was a grandmaster or two. Usually at least one. When I lived in New England in the old days, we had a pretty strong chess scene. But now it's not as good. In the 90s, like, the Boston chess scene was extremely strong. So that's where I developed a lot. Nowadays it's not. Budapest is a little better. I always joke like I'm the strongest player on my street here. If I'm lucky. We used to have like 3 IMs on my street. But one of them like broke up with his girlfriend and the other one is living in like Mexico. Hungary, you know, people are like, why did you move to Hungary? Alright. Like in a 1 block radius, we had 3 IMs on the same street. We could have like a little mini tournament or something. Bishop takes h6. I was just provoking. Maybe I should play bishop e7, because now he can play knight c8. You know, seriously. That probably... I could sack on h6 too, but I didn't see enough. I don't play against computer at all. I quit playing computers in like 2003. Because I realized I used to play a lot of training games against computers, but I realized it was messing my... Although it made me stronger, it was also messing with me. It was making me like fearful to do anything, you know, because I'm afraid. I'm constantly afraid. The computers are stronger than me tactically, so I was literally sort of second guessing everything I was doing. It's not good. So I really don't recommend playing against computers. You know, maybe if you mix it in with other stuff, it's okay, but you can't do it a lot, because it will definitely mess with you. Don't only play against computers. You'll become extremely afraid. It's also like probably good advice not to always play stronger players. You know, it creates a skewed sort of sense of reality where you become too defensive. The ideal is to play maybe more stronger players than weaker players. Wow, a6? That's kind of crazy. He has knight f8. Or there. But I doubt this works. He has this move. Wow, that doesn't work, does it? I think our opponent plays too much bullet chess. I'm just getting that impression. The distinct impression of lots of bullet chess. Anyone else? Someone's playing an awful lot of bullet chess. 1,800 and something games. Yeah, he got me with a cheapo. Damn. Now I'm worse. Well, I hung a piece. That sucks. How is this guy so fast? He suddenly got a lot stronger than he used to be. Maybe it's actually Repun's other account or something. I never thought of that. Man, he took a lot of time on that move. Yeah, I lost. Dude, what is going on with this guy? He only plays bullet chess, practically. So you seem to have gotten a lot stronger suddenly. 2163 in rapid. And insanely fast. I just kind of like stopped trying because I was just up a piece, you know. So you're really Repun's other account? Or what? Tumbasov Nikita. That can't be the same player, different repertoire. But exactly the same, just playing for bullet chess. I would just resign a piece down. Whatever. I try and encourage people not to play like that, but they don't listen. Good game. Yeah, it wasn't a good game. Sorry. I mean, I don't mind losing when someone deserves to beat me, but like not resigning down a piece and then you're like, good game? Okay, good game. No, I don't think the hollow good games really fly. Like, I'm not going to say good game to some grandmaster I just won because he dropped a piece or something. You just like don't say that. I know some people flip out when you say good game after the game. I don't normally do that, but like when you flag me in a bullet style game or you win a lost position, don't say good game. Say good game when it's really a good game. Then it has a lot of meaning, you know. It's like you don't really think that was a good game, do you? Yeah, I guess you're improving in time pressure. A6, because you only play bullet chess all day long. I mean, you had a lost position, like totally lost position, and you're just like clicking the mouse faster than me. This is a very bad opening for black. A6 is it's amazing how common it is. It's a terrible mistake. No, I mean it's like in poker, you don't say like nice hand after you just like bad beat someone for like $1,000 or something, or you know, it's like you say what you mean. I mean I'm not salty whenever I lose a game, but I don't like appreciate people saying things that are shallow. Just saying good game for the sake of saying good game is something I try to tell people don't do that, you know, because it's you don't really mean it, and it's just like meaningless. He flagged me in a lost position, you know, that's not a good game. Porcupine. Porcupine. I have this ongoing rage battle against people that play bullet chess and mindlessly move really fast. I'm trying to stop this evil from you know existing in the world of chess, but it's like a battle that feels like it's a losing battle, you know. No, I mean it's like bullet chess itself. You're just going through the motions, but you're not really playing chess. Saying good game after that is basically the same thing. You know, it has no meaning. You're just going through the motions. What's the sense of saying good game if you say it every single game? You know, like save it for games that were really good. You know, and then it has some meaning. I'm done like raging now, but it irritates me when people just play for time. All right. Why do I want to trade queens here? Uber driver, you're like the worst defender of all. You become a complete bullet addict. Very bad role model for the other viewers here on the stream. This opponent, obviously the same. He's 2200 in Blitz, 1700 classical, 1900 rapid, 2000 bullet. It's exactly what I try to avoid. So what is this d6? It just loses by force. He's literally hanging his pieces. Dude, stop playing bullet chess. Learn to play real chess. No, I'm not going to do a take back. Good game. Just kidding. Good game. No, that would be like how absurd would it be to say like good game to this guy after I beat him. He used like 30 seconds for the whole game and lost, or hopefully will lose. Um, should I say good game? All right, I'm gonna leave it now, but you get the point. It's a poker thing more than chess thing. You know, in poker it's much worse. People that say like nice hand after you just lost like thousands of dollars because of like a one outer on the river. Um, yeah. Okay. Appreciate the sentiment. Yeah, maybe for some people it's a provocation. That's an interesting theory. Rook c8. But this guy, like, it's a kid, probably, you know? But we try to point people in the right direction. Nice taking your mortgage payment. Exactly. Hey, that was a month's salary. I haven't thought of rounders in a long time. Uber driver's really dated. But I like John Malkovich a lot. It's hard not to like anything John Malkovich did. He's not even bad as Poirot. See, this guy would never resign like a million billion years. He resigned. What? You have to play it out with Queen E7. There's still a chance. Used 40 seconds for the whole game in a 5+3 time control. Seriously, that's Mule Skinner's secret account. I'm just kidding, man. Alright, Bundy, Al Bundy, and Cupine. Guys, how much time do we have left? We've got half an hour. I mean, I think it's cool to say good game before the game, you know? And you shake hands after the game or whatever. Maybe even thanks for the game. That's kind of a provocation too. Whatever. Wow, I was just talking about this the other day, and there it is. Al Bundy. He's got very similar statistics to our last opponent. The Sveshnikov played this against me. The Sveshnikov. Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of really angry trolls in online anything. There's no such rule like that, Chessibra. I never heard anyone say, like, only a loser can request a rematch. That's totally made up, like kindergarten stuff. That's how they played at his kindergarten. Requesting a rematch is just a rematch. I mean, that's why I don't do the forums. Knight c2 seems wrong, though. Here we got another player, notice 5 seconds for the whole game. To me, that seems very strange time management. No, knight b5 is like the main line. It's the main point of playing knight a3. Very odd not to do knight a3. Well, I mean, I've accused a lot of innocent people of cheating, but the amateurs are really absurd sometimes. The worst are the people that they complain that you're not moving fast enough. Like, why are you playing 10-minute chess? Why are you in the 10-minute pool if you want to play 1-minute chess? Can someone explain that to me? I see people all the time like, oh, they're harassing me because I'm taking too long. Or you play in the hourly rapid arena, and there's people like, they're taking forever on their moves. Then why are you playing a 10-0 game if you want to play bullet? Like, I don't understand. Yeah, I mean, it's probably best just to turn chat off and do Zen mode. Though you can occasionally meet nice people online. I don't regret meeting a lot of nice people here through my stream. How much longer will I be streaming? Till 30, so it's 1:04 now. I got 25 minutes left. I don't know. I don't know what to do here. I mean, I guess you might as well just like take on d4. I don't see the point in waiting any longer. I remember I had a game like this with the podcast guy, Ben Johnson. He played the c3 Sicilian against me like 25 years ago. We had a game. He's like a national master, 2300. That does perpetual podcast. It was some kind of boring position like this. I couldn't get anything. This is why I hate the c3 Sicilian. One of the many reasons. Though I respect it as a reasonable opening. Bundy H. No relation to Al. Hal Bundy. Al's brother. Yep. I don't like the direction this is going. White's a little better here. Now where am I going to put my queen? E7? A self pin? Is that a good idea? Whoa, 4 touchdowns in a single game. Wait, what are we talking about? Oh, Ben Johnson, the sprinter. Of course. Canadian sprinter. Right, right. Yeah, I mean, I imagine there's only like 3,000 Ben Johnsons in the phone book. That's brutal to have a name like that. I mean, I'm glad I have a kind of rare name. Mike Smith. Alright. It's good to have a unique name. Well, the e-book. The e-phone book. Whatever it is. The virtual phone book. Time to see those defensive skills. Never. Bishop versus Knight. Ben's podcast. King h8, rook h3, rook g8. What else would I do? This guy is pretty strong. A lot of times I see people like this, like they're very fast, but they only have like 1900 in bullet. I don't understand bullet ratings. Obviously I don't play bullet, so. But I mean, I see these people that are like 28, 2900, so Magnus Carlsen is like 3000 in bullet, right? But it's like, it seems like there's this huge differential. Now, attacking my f6 pawn, I can play f5. What's wrong with f5? Nothing. Nothing's wrong with f5. f5's a good move. Right? Right. You gotta watch for rook sacrifices and whatnot. I mean, this is a standard position for me. I love doubled F pawns. I have a lot of openings where I play with doubled F pawns. The Trompowsky, Richter Rouser. It's totally standard. My bishop's stronger than his knight here. And I have a perch. Pike perch. I'm sorry that Move 11's not here. Talk about the elf on the shelf maneuver. So, Jernvlad says bullet rating 400 points lower than Blitz. That's, I guess, what I'm trying to ask. I mean, what's normal? I don't even have perspective. Is it normal? Is that average for bullet ratings to be like 400 points lower than Blitz? What's the correlation for the average player, you know? Rapid is like higher now. It's become inflated. I can win a pawn here. Oh my god, he has queen h7. Never mind. I take it back. I'm just kidding. Let's see, bishop f4, queen h7, rook h7, rook h7, king h7, pawn f4. You know, I'm probably better in that rook endgame. Even though I'm temporarily down a pawn. Actually. Structurally, I'm much better. Yeah, maybe that wasn't such a bad deal. File this. File this, please. Can you file it? File under activity. He just resigned. I mean, a little premature on the resignation there. Probably. Theoretically, I was worse. You know, when we entered this bad structure ending. But we're holding on. Yeah, but the opening was weird. You know, I never saw anyone do that. I just remember Ben Johnson doing knight a3, knight c2 against me. There's one random game here from 2000. Okay. Porcupine. I shamed... I tried to do my best, Chess Ibra. I like shaming people into resigning. I try to guilt them into it. Hugo, welcome. Was that you? Don't tell me good game. I hate when people say good game. E5. I was enraged about a previous good game. I'm just kidding. If it's a normal game, I appreciate it. But, you know, people that just say it, just to say it, you know, for the sake of saying it, that's what irks me. Yeah, no, I mean, if you mean it, then you mean it. Don't tell me good game unless you're ready to resign. So what do we do here? I don't know. This looks like the right move. Homie, don't play the Queen's Gambit accelerated. B5. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Is bishop d6 a literal move? Does that seem right? 2 a.m. variation. Maybe. It's kind of like a snake Benoni without the Benoni. Don't you think that GG is like shaking a hand? You know. Maybe. But I mean, there is no online equivalency for like ripping up the score sheet and throwing it in the trash. You know, that's what I want to like. That's what I want a shorthand for. Can I get one of those, please? On my way out the door, I'm going to tear up the game score and throw it in the trash. I had to do that against this one guy. I was so pissed. I just lost my mind. Last year. Oh, I hate him so much. He's the most... I told the story before, but it was the most annoying player I ever played. I ended up, like, overpressing and losing in a drawn position. And I freaked out. But I'm not going to reiterate it. Just leave it at he's the most annoying opponent I ever faced. And it made it very difficult to play against him. Twice I almost lost in time against him. And I want a shorthand for when I'm behaving like Sunil Weirmantry, really. Like Hikaru's stepdad. Taught me everything I know about bad sportsmanship. But seriously. This is a pretty solid game by Porcupine. He's going for e4. He's extremely immature and he like has temper tantrums. He's the ideal chess coach, basically. That's the irony of it. Like he's a very, I don't know what you call him, very well established chess coach in the greater, you know, New York metropolitan area. Well, I mean, he's got a nice personality when he's not having an emotional breakdown. But I've seen him like literally like burst into tears and cry at the board. Very powerful play here by Porcupine, I would say. Man, this is annoying. Get me out of here. You beat him and Hikaru yelled at you. Now, once against Kelleher, he lost and he started crying. I was like, whoa. First of all, like, Bill was like 100 times stronger than him ever, so it's not like an upset or something. And it was just like insane to see an adult man like crying at the board. I wish I had a clip of that. But I learned to throw my score sheet in the trash. That's where I got that idea from. Man, this is a nice game by White, but I think I might be alright. Finally. Dude, imagine, like, you're not just some chess player, you're actually a coach for kids, and you're having, like, you know, crying tantrums when you lose. That's great. You know, what a role model. You know, all that aside, I actually like Sunil. He's alright, you know. I'm just saying how funny it is that he's a role model who can't control his emotions. I'm surprised. You know, I always thought it would hold Hikaru back, actually. But Hikaru did incredibly well, considering how unstable, you know, Sunil was, like, emotionally. His mother must be very stable, you know, for Hikaru to maintain such a level without having similar emotional problems. Last game. I have last game coming up. I'm not afraid to make fun of myself, you know. It's not often that I, like, don't shake hands and throw the score sheet in the trash can. But I will do it on occasion if my opponent was problematic and I was really pissed. You know, I think it's alright to show your emotions. You know, some people think it's like a flaw or something. But Sunil went too far. I mean, he was like almost every game having a tantrum. I mean, if it's like a special circumstance and you really had a hard game and whatever, you know, I don't have a tantrum every time I lose. You know, just like one in 25 games or something. But I am human. The guy was like literally the most annoying player I ever played. Like, he wouldn't stop moving. It was impossible to concentrate. I was gonna like call the arbiter to like get him to stop like making motions and movements and stuff. He was like fidgeting constantly. But it was almost like it was on purpose because he only did it when it was my time. Like, he would never even make a move. Like, he was absolutely still when it was his turn. But when it became my turn, there was like this constant movement, you know. I was like, what is going on? Is this guy doing this on purpose or is it just my imagination? Like, on my visual level, his hands were moving, or he was picking up objects, or he was moving a drink, or he was doing something else. Like, I couldn't look at the board without some kind of like motion in the background. I was losing my mind, you know, and finally it cost me because I literally couldn't concentrate and got into really bad time pressure. And I was so pissed that I wouldn't take a draw. I had a forced draw, and I literally like eschewed a draw, forced draw by repetition to try to win because I was just hysterically angry with his behavior. All right, we're gonna go for it. I mean, I've played a lot of people and they've done a lot of strange stuff. Kicking the feet under the table is another favorite. Usually it's an underage player that I can't beat up without getting arrested. But this guy is just like, he seems like a nice guy, but he's doing all this stuff. And after a while, I started to think maybe he's doing it on purpose, you know? How can you explain that you're completely relaxed when it's your turn, but when it's the opponent's turn, you're like, you don't stop moving around, you know? It was really weird. Eschew. Yeah, a lot of amateurs don't know the etiquette. And I know that some people are fidgety. They're just fidgety all the time, and even that would be okay. But he wasn't. You know, it was only when it was my time. I missed the win of a piece here? Maybe not. I almost had rook d3. If you're just nervous, you're going to be nervous, you know, all the time. If it's your move, it's the opponent's move. I don't hold it against someone for having some sort of nervous problem, you know. But this guy's behavior was strange. It was like he was doing it on purpose to distract me. Because he knew it was bothering me. You know, he started doing it more and more. I guess that's it, you know. I try to be like ultra polite at the board. I don't eat at the board. I try not to do anything distracting. You know, I'd never like open a like loud candy wrapper at the board like a lot of people do. You know, I'm very thoughtful about other people, like trying to not be distracting. What's up, Delver? How do you overcome nervousness while facing a strong opponent? Well, it's not easy. I can't say I have the answer. You know, there's no simple solution for that kind of thing. I think everyone experiences a certain amount of intimidation against strong players. The more you do it, the less it's going to bother you. The more used you are to it. You know, I think it will get better with time. And everyone feels that to some degree. That's normal. Once I played with Lembit Ol, who was this Estonian grandmaster, and I don't know if I was intimidated or it was just weird, but he seemed to have this kind of strange... He had this like strange way of like staring at you. And it really got in under my nerves, and I was like intimidated. And I lost in like 15 moves or something. I felt he had some kind of weird hex or something. It was like Korchnoi against Karpov. I never like lost with white against someone. Well, very rarely have I ever like lost with white against anybody, even if they are like a 2650 in like 15 moves. But there was he had this weird way of looking at me that really bothered me. And I just like lost in 15 moves like a beginner. Then he like killed himself a couple weeks later, which was weird. So maybe it wasn't just me. He was definitely a strange bird. All right, last game. I was probably one of the last people to play the guy. Maybe he was just like psychologically disturbed. I had heard some other stories about him. But he had this really weird way of looking. That was the most intimidated I ever felt by an opponent against Ol. I think I was a little intimidated by Kamsky when I lost against Gata, honestly. But I'm not, you know, I don't feel like I've been intimidated by a lot of players. But Gata doesn't do anything at the board, you know, weird. I mean, he's totally sportsmanlike and normal, and there's nothing about his behavior that would cause someone to be intimidated. But his reputation as a player is intimidating. With Ol, I felt like it was something about him. They say Kasparov's very unpleasant to play against. Yeah, I mean, my friend Jozef Pinter played against him, and Jozef said it was very unpleasant. Knight takes g5, no. Tal, of course, famously with the stare, although he was a really nice person. ER Doc just called and said they need me to go in. That I got important stuff to do, no chess. Get to work, Chess Zebra, thanks for joining us. So WJ Loof, he had the Moloch, the evil eye. That was the Korchnoi Karpov story. Korchnoi and Karpov had like an evil eye advisor or something. What's happening here? Do I have bishop takes e5? Rook a d1. Maybe rook a d1 is not good enough. I'm going to try it. Well, I mean, that was before my time in chess. That was in the 70s. My bishop getting trapped. My bishop's on the way to the emergency room, so if you see him, let me know how he's doing. But apparently not. Yeah, he was talking about f4, of course. Critical question, pretty complicated. I mean, I was trying to play queen g6. If f4, queen g6. Pawn takes pawn. Not clear. Maybe my bishop is getting trapped. Guys, I gotta go after this game. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for the gift, the bit donation from WJ Loof. Now he's gonna have to sacrifice his queen, presumably. Looks like some compensation. It shouldn't be really quite enough. If I had better there, maybe I should play knight takes f5. Objectively. It destroys his structure. Probably knight takes f5 is stronger than knight e6. Remember, boys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with some GeoGuessr puzzles and cooking after these messages. Wait, this is a chess stream. Alright. The rook and bishop for the queen. Rook and bishop and pawn. Now. Knight d5 is probably a panic move. I should just play, you know, normal rook d1. Better to just play rook d1. Slightly panicking. But I'm not sure he wants to give up his white square bishop, actually. Maybe knight d5 isn't a bad move. But I think black is okay here. Calm. There's a time for calm defense. Marbles, right. Wait, who does marbles? Lex Veldhuis does marbles after his poker streams. I'd rather do Hearthstone. A little relaxation. Man, c6 is a calm move. GM Sean. Nicely played. Just simply c6. Absorbing my knight into the position. Damn. I have to go back. Black has full compensation. Thanks, Porcupine. Sean and Learning Chess, they seem almost identical. The Learning Chess is higher rated. No, it wasn't Learning Chess. Who's the other player I played? Let's see. Sean is 17, 17, 17, 15, and 0. It was another player, not Learning Chess. Another player with a similar score against me. I suspect there are one or two people out there who are playing multiple accounts against me, and I've become paranoid as a result of it. But I think there are at least one or two of you out there who are secretly multi-accounting against me. Someone recently sort of admitted to it, making me further paranoid. But I'd rather not play the same person, you know, on multiple accounts so other people have a chance to play. If you are multiple accounting and trying to get more challenges that way, please don't do that. We should be focusing on dating. My first advice, I told everybody, don't tell them you're a chess player. That's the biggest mistake you can make on the first date. Don't forget. Never ever mention that. Yeah, so the idea was bishop c4. This is important. Not queen e4, bishop d5. Bishop c4, queen e4. Bishop c4, bishop d5, queen e4. I have to trade the bishops to reduce the level of danger here. See, this is the point. Blunk. This might get tough, or maybe not. That's the key. If I took on e4, he plays bishop d5 for reals. But now it's not so easy for black. This might get tough. But we're not in any danger. Not so tough after all. Luckily he cooperated with king g7. But I mean, if you want to go, I gotta go. But if you want to take a look at this sack, I feel like black's queen sack is probably sound. Well, this actually happened in an old... This literally happened in an old Rambaldoni game. He's a GM, or one of the brothers is a GM, maybe both, I don't know. Rook AD1 double question mark, blunder. I'm supposed to play what? Bishop takes e5. I thought about that, but I didn't think it worked. Wait. Oh, bishop takes e5. Yeah, but I thought g4 wins a piece. So this was my calculation, like takes. This was my problem here. Why I didn't like this. But I just take here, I didn't see this. My problem was that I didn't see bishop f8, pawn takes e2, queen e2, attacking his knight. Apparently, like, everything's winning for white here. So that's why I did this stupid rook move. And now f4 is a mess. No, the best move is this. But he has queen back, or knight back. And I really am losing a piece here. I figured I had some compensation, but I didn't know how to play this. Bishop h4, queen e8. Yeah. This is not good. Yeah, you're correct. People who suspected f4 was good. It is good. It's a little scary. Why can't black's pinned on the e file, on the d file? He can't. No, I mean I saw this, right? Rook ad1. Wait. Why can't he just capture twice? No, I mean his knight's hanging. I saw this, right? This is obvious. No, his knight's hanging. He's not pinned, sorry. Bishop takes e5, knight e5, knight e5, bishop e5. I was a little worried. This is how the Rambaldoni game... I've actually seen this before. I was a little worried my bishop could get trapped here. That's what Bakowski tried to do. You know, so like g3, queen g5, and you know, white's lost. Or maybe not. Wow. Takes first and queen g5. But I have f4, and that's what Bakowski missed. He's like an old grandmaster. f4. So this actually happened before. But the problem was, I thought he had this, and then this, and this. But I'm just not material here. You know, this doesn't work. Alright guys, anyway, we found the truth. The truth is out there. Donald Trump. Just takes a while to find it. We'll be back on Sunday with Simul for 25 players. Thanks. Good game. It's the thought that counts, Sean Pinto. Wasn't really a good game. I made a terrible mistake. You made a terrible mistake. Not taking advantage of my terrible mistake. The truth is, it wasn't really a good game. We both made a very serious mistake. So, but thank you for the game nevertheless, for this bad game. Thanks for the bad game. Anyway, I'll be back Sunday with the Simul for 25 players. Yeah, try to say good game. And we need to come up with another word rather than good game, because a lot of the people that say good game, it's actually a bad game. We need another, like, maybe thanks for the game would be better if you have to say something. Anyway, I will see everybody later. Thanks for the subscriptions, for donating and for supporting the stream. Make sure you keep it up. We'll do a hype train on Sunday. Support your local chess, GeoGuessr, and cooking streamer. And don't forget to do lots of puzzles and bullet chess, because that's the way to improve. I'll see everybody later. Bye-bye.